Wednesday. What does it mean? It's the middle of the week. Also, pick'ems. What is up, football fans? Yes, I say football fans because this is the picks. You don't have to just be a Dolphin fan to enjoy the picks. I got my buddy Jay on. He's going to be helping me. You can see his link. His name is tagged in the title. Go check out his channel. Does some very good Dolphin content over there. Some hype videos, some Phil breakdown, all that good stuff. Go check him out. But before we jump into this fantastic pick'ems, my brain's not working. I got to shout out today's sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. You guys know about Prize Picks. I talk about them constantly. They're a daily fantasy app where you can go in and you can choose from different sports and put in. I'm rambling, but let me just show you. Let me pop it up. I'm going to show you. I'm going to slide over. I'm going to show you. Here we go. So you got Prize Picks. I'm on the computer. You can also do it on your computer as well. It's not only just on your phone. You can also do it on your computer here. You see you got NBA, college football, NHL, NBA 1, NHL 1H, PBA. They go all the way over. You got tennis, you got MMA, all the way over. We're focused on the NFL here. They are looking at Thursday night. What you do is you go and you pick up to 5 players. So we'll pick Jalen Hurts here. We'll pick Davis Mills here. Then we can come over here. You got rushing yards, receiving yards, receptions, field goals made, kicking points, all this good stuff. Let's go to receiving yards. We'll do let's do Devontae Smith. And let's do Brandon Cooks. And then for one more, let's do field goals. And we'll do Jake Elliott. And then if you look over here, you got Jalen Hurts, 236.5 yards. Do you think he's going to get more or less? Davis Mills, 218.5, more or less. Devontae Smith, receiving yards, 52.5, more or less. Brandon Cooks, 58.5, more or less. And then Jake Elliott, field goals made, 1.5 field goals made. You think it's more? I think it'll be more. You come in here, you place your bets, you hit, place your entry. If you use the promo code DDW, you get 100% of your deposit up to $100 matched. You can win up to 10 times your money. So go check it out. Prize Picks. You can either download the app or like I am, you can go to prizepicks.com. Check it out. Great fantasy daily app. But without further ado, let's get into the picks with Jay. We talk a little bit about the trade deadline and all that good stuff. So let's jump into that. And other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow. I got a little special video. We're going to be reacting to some things tomorrow. So other than that, like usual, stay classy. My fence up. Another week of picks. Another guest. I got my man Jay here. Jay, what is up, my man? How you feeling today? We're recording this on Tuesday night. So me and him are still pretty Jones. We were talking for about a half hour before we hit the record button. How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
It's tough not to feel fantastic right now as a Miami Dolphins fan. I'm trying to keep it in check. You know, we both have PTSD from the past Dolphins teams, so it's like we can't get too excited. But the fact that we just traded for Bradley Chubb and my guy Jeff Wilson, man, it's going to be a really exciting time. And obviously we're going up against the Bears. We have a chance to go on a little win streak right now. So I appreciate you for having me on. It's an honor. I felt like the need to say that. Like, it's an honor. Legend. Go to the YouTube community. But other than that, man, like, just excited to be here for the picks.
Yeah, you have your own channel that you put out some really good content. I think you broke 1,000K a little while back. Tell them about your channel.
So I just do breakdowns, recaps, stuff like that. My channel really did well in the off season just because that's when it's kind of my time to shine with like the film and stuff and not just watching the games. When during the season, it's more about me reacting, and I just like to be a fan too. Like, I'm not so far deep into the film where I can step back. I really like to be a fan first and react to the games normally. So that's what I've been doing right now. But if you want to talk about like player breakdowns, really want to deep dive into film on specifically Dolphin stuff, that's probably what you'll find on my channel that you like. And I just live react to the games like Dougie does. So keep watching him because it's fantastic. But just let you know, I do that too, and it's just fun to be a fan. What I would do is I would watch Dougie first live and then watch the video after on mine. But like that's basically what I do. I try to kind of blend the two together, being a fan and then diving into the film analytics, stuff like that. So if you want to know about like player breakdowns, that's probably the best thing I'm known for. And jersey swaps on Twitter, which is really weird. I just kind of exploded for that, which is really weird. But yeah, jersey swaps.
I was going to shout you out because during free agency and even during the trade deadline, if you guys noticed, my thumbnail, I had Bradley Chubb and Wilson and Dolphin jerseys. That's to this man over here. He's really good at it. Go follow him on Twitter. He kills it. I do Photoshop, and I've watched and kind of learned how to do it, and it's like a process. I'm gonna pick your brain later. I'm not gonna do it on here. I won't give away the secrets, but if you can teach me how to do it and not the long ass process that I've been seeing, that'd be nice. But this guy's kills it. Go subscribe to his channel. Go follow him on Twitter.
Appreciate it.
Go support another great Dolphin content creator. And we're gonna jump into these picks. You can already see it below here. Thursday night, tomorrow night, we got the Philadelphia Eagles 7-0 heading to the Houston Texans 1-5. It's like the NFL was like, oh, you want to just put Thursday night on Prime Video? All right, we're going to give you garbage every Thursday. What is the spread on this one? I know you probably have it pulled up.
The spread for the Eagles game is Eagles -14.
Oh, my God.
So it's a big spread. Yeah, it's a real big spread. I don't know what I would do if I was taking the spread. Thankfully, on here, we're just doing the picks.
Yeah, we're just going to go straight up. Oh, my. 14. Dave, and a lot of people were blowing smoke up Davis Mills' butt last season, comparing him to Tua and stuff. Eagles are going to win this game, right? You feel the same? Like, what do you think about this game?
I feel this. They just added Robert Quinn. Obviously, they picked up A.J. Brown in the offseason. Darius Slay has been probably the best corner in the league this year.
Mm-hmm.
Texans are bad, and like we were talking about, Davis Mills, I was a part of the group that was kind of gassing him up as a guy who's better than people realize.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to say he was as good as Tua or anything like that, but I was just saying he's better than people gave him credit for. But he hasn't taken that next step this year at all, to be honest with you. He kind of has regressed, if anything. So I think the Eagles are probably going to beat them by a large margin. Now, 14 is a very large margin for the NFL. But I don't know what I would do if it was that. I might take the Texans there just because 14 is a lot on any given day.
Mm-hmm.
Any team can win, but straight up, give me the Eagles every day because their schedule is so easy. They're on a roll right now. Jalen Hurts is playing fantastic. I do think that they won't go undefeated, but their schedule is so easy. I don't know how they got that schedule, but I definitely think they'll lose the game kind of down the road. But for now, this is a pretty easy blowout win. Yeah,
it'll be like last year when the Jaguars beat the Bills. There'll be some team that kind of sneaks up on them and gets close and then probably win by a field goal. I might actually bet and take the Texans because at some point it'll be like it'll get close and then they'll just pull the starters or something. So I don't know. I might have to go against the spread on that one. Next one we have is the Chargers heading to Atlanta to take on the first place Atlanta Falcons. I did not see that one coming. Tampa Bay's falling apart. We'll get to them unless they're on a bye, but Tampa Bay's falling apart. Chargers are, they come out with the excuses. If any Charger fans are watching
this. It's really funny, actually, because it's the exact same stuff that Tua went through, but now they're saying it's different circumstances. It's a very funny situation. I'm not going to comment on it right now. We're not trying to start anything, but it's really funny that they're saying literally pinpoint exactly what we were saying about Tua down to the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
But now all of a sudden it's different. Listen, I'm not trying to start anything, but
I'll stir it. I'll stir the pot. Oh, if you're good enough, you should be able to win with these things. Justin Herbert would be able to win in Miami. Well, he ain't doing it in San Diego. So what happened now? But I'm gonna take the Chargers in this one. I think.
Okay, so I have a hot take for this one.
Oh boy, I'm
gonna take the Falcons, and it's just because the Falcons are at home.
Yeah.
I will say the Chargers are coming off the bye, which is a little bit interesting, but the Falcons are 3-1 at home, which is kind of ridiculous. I can't believe they are 3-1 at home. So with that in mind, I'll take them. I think the Chargers are going through a lot of injuries right now, as we know, because they've been very vocal about the injuries that they've gone through. But give me the Falcons. I think this was one of my closer games in terms of deciding who was going to win. I thought this was pretty close. So I'll take the Falcons, but I don't feel great about it.
It's funny, too, because I took the Chargers defense in fantasy. J.C. Jackson, Bosa, Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack, yeah.
J.C. Jackson might have been the biggest overpay in free agency this past year because he kind of disappeared.
He was close to coming here too. Sorry, he was close.
Yeah, because they were going to move on from Byron, and then they were going to get J.C. Jackson. And then that kind of fell apart, and now I don't.
I'm actually thankful, honestly, because the way it's looking, he was getting benched before he got hurt. Now, obviously, it's sad that he got hurt. You never want to see a player get hurt, but Yeah, he was getting benched and stuff. So, and they give him a lot of money.
A
So
lot of money.
we're not in a better situation than Byron so far. Hopefully he comes back, but yeah, it's a tough situation over there.
Next we got the Panthers 2-6 taking on the Bengals, who got mollywopped Monday night against the Browns. That was a beating. Apparently Jamar Chase is their offense. What's your thoughts on this before I give my pick?
I'm going to go Bengals. I think because they just came off an embarrassing loss on prime time, I think they're going to come out with a vengeance. Joe Burrow didn't look great without Jamar Chase, I'll be honest. He did not look great at all, even though he still had T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, guys like that. But I will say they probably have so much motivation after losing on prime time in the fashion that they did. So I'm just going to take the Bengals. It's not like the Panthers are going to put up much of a fight. PJ Walker played better than you would have expected, but again, against the Falcons defense. But to me, again, kind of like the Eagles versus Texans, it's kind of a relatively easy pick for me in the Bengals.
Yeah, I agree. Even without Jamar Chase there, I thought he would have done better against the Browns. I don't know if it was shell shock thing or what, but I agree. PJ Walker really ignited them a little bit with that, crazy last minute touchdown, and then they missed the extra point because popped his helmet off. But yeah, I'm going Cincinnati this one. What's your thoughts on Baker Mayfield getting benched?
So I was actually kind of not part of the group, but I just thought Baker would do a little bit better than he has. I wasn't going to say he's anything crazy or even like a top 15 quarterback level, but I did think he was going to do better just because I thought he had a good year. Then he had Freddie Kitchens. Then he had a good year. Then he got hurt. So it was kind of like there was kind of reasons for why he was struggling. But man, in that Panthers offense, he has not done well at all. So I'll take my L on that take. It wasn't like a huge take or a hot take or anything to say he was going to be average just because first overall pick and he's shown some flashes, but clearly just not the guy kind of going through it over there at quarterback. So they're honestly, you have to take the Bengals because the Panthers want to lose.
Yeah,
like their goal is to lose. So if you're taking the Panthers here, I don't know maybe you're talking about a big upset here, but like I think both teams will come out with their wanted goal.
Yeah, I agree. And, there were people, and not many, but there were people saying that the Dolphins should trade for Baker and replace Tua with him. And pray to God. And I'm so happy they don't control the Dolphins. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers. Struggle bus city from the Green Bay Packers taking on the Detroit Lions, who looked hot first half against the Dolphins. And then the Dolphins woke up and were like, oh, you're 1-5, but you're not really 1-5. And then, we beat the crap out of them in the second half. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers kind of throwing everyone under the bus. The Packers aren't helping him, though. Like, I'll say that. The Packers are definitely not helping Aaron Rodgers, especially with the trade deadline. They couldn't even go out and get Brandon Cooks for him. Like, they did nothing. I'm picking the Packers to win this one. The Packers need to continue to win, especially with the Vikings slowly, distancing themselves in that division. But I think this still will be a close one because the Lions still have a top 10 offense. Surprisingly, being 1-6, they have a really good offense.
I'm actually going to go with another upset here. Give me the Lions. I think they have a top 3 offensive line, which I think is very valuable. We saw against our defensive line, which I don't think are scrubs. Jared Goff had a lot of time to just sit back there and pick our defense apart. I'm not saying we were healthy on the secondary because we still had Noah Benogany playing a couple snaps. So obviously there's reasons for that, but their offensive line is awesome. They just got DeAndre Swift back. Their run game is very, very good behind that offensive line. And I just think the Packers are really struggling. Rodgers without weapons has been tough. Romeo Doubs has looked really nice as a rookie, but he hasn't been anything special or anything electric or anything that would even compare to Devontae Adams. So they're really feeling that loss from the offseason. So I'm going to take the Lions. Again, not one that I feel great about, but I just feel like they're a better team than 1-6. So I just feel like they're going to get their win. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know if that's like a hot take. It's still a hot take against the Packers. And I felt like if you're ever going to take the Lions, probably now's the time. I just feel like Packers are kind of on a downhill spiral, so maybe that will continue. Again, not one that I feel great about, but
I could see where you're coming from, especially given the edge because they're home. If it was in Lambeau, I bet you flip the other way. But we saw it firsthand. Their offense was moving. They were doing really well, and then they just decided to either continue to coast in the second half against the Dolphins or what. But the Dolphins were like, yeah, we know how to stop you, and we're going to stop you. So we'll see what they do against Green Bay. Next, Raiders at Jacksonville. Raiders 2-5. No, so many people when the season started, and I was even one of them. So many people when the season started say, "Oh, that AFC West, they're gonna have 3 wild cards in the AFC West." The Raiders suck. Like they suck. And then you got Jacksonville, who just traded for Calvin Ridley. They're not going to get him. They may get him sometime this year. But what's your thoughts on this game?
This one's another really interesting one. I'm going to go with the Raiders just because, just like the Bengals game, the Raiders just got shut out by the Saints. And
Mhm.
again, I feel like that's just like a lot of motivation coming off an embarrassing loss. I feel like they're going to be hungry for a win after being shut out. I think the Jaguars are on the up. I think they're a team that's young. I think Lawrence, I don't think he's great right now, to be honest. I think people overvalue how good he is right now.
Mhm.
But I do feel like going forward, he could get better and better and better. And I feel like you see what happens when you get your quarterback a receiver. They just got Calvin Ridley. So maybe next year they'll start taking that next step. But so far in this year, I don't think so. And the Raiders, while they're bad and their defense is real bad, their offense is still pretty good. And with Darren Waller coming back healthy, I do think that the Raiders will take this one.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I drafted my fantasy team, I posted it on Twitter, and I got some flack because I had no Dolphins on there, and I drafted Devontae Adams, and he's been sucking. And this is why I don't draft Dolphins, because I'm horrible luck when it comes to fantasy football. I'm going with the Raiders as well, and I hope Devontae Adams can give me more than, I think he got me like 6 points or something like that. Like, really screwed me this week. Next we have the Colts, another team that's kind of on the downward spiral, and the Patriots, another team that's kind of they beat the Jets. They're kind of up a little, but they're definitely on the downward spiral. Colts benching, Matt Ryan. The Patriots have some type of quarterback turmoil with Mac Jones. And
But hey, he's a Pro Bowler. He's ranked 85 in the top 100 last year. How is this possible?
better than Tua. He's the greatest. He sucks.
Terrible.
They both suck. Him and Zappy. Or Zappe, or whatever the hell his name is.
I think it's Zappy.
They're both garbage. And then the Colts are probably at the point now that they need to decide if they're going to throw it and try to get a franchise quarterback or not, because I'm going with Patriots. They're home, and they have something to play for. Bill Belichick is never going to not try to win and ruin people's days. I'm going with the Patriots on this one.
I'm going Patriots too. They're at home, like you said, which is a big factor here. And also, if they do start Sam Ehlinger, Belichick does really good against rookie quarterbacks and young quarterbacks. So I do think that Belichick's defense could cause him some troubles. I'm not trying to say Mac Jones is good. I'm just saying, to be honest, their run game is really good. Their defense is really solid, and that's a recipe to win games against bad teams like the Colts.
Speaking of rookie quarterbacks that Bill Belichick takes care of, the Buffalo Bills are heading to my neck of the woods in New Jersey to take on these Jets. Zach Wilson threw 3 interceptions, and they were ugly. Some of these Jet YouTubers, and I'm friends with them, so I'm not going to mention who it was making like, I'm not going to make excuses, and then proceeded to make excuses for the 3 interceptions. Like, this one was an interception, but if you look at it, they were bad. Like, they were bad. Even the one where he tried to throw it away, and it became an interception. They were bad. This game is not more about us picking the game, because obviously you're both picking Buffalo. It's about how bad is Buffalo going to beat the Jets, in your opinion?
Oh, I think it's going to be real bad. I will say I do like what Robert Saleh is doing over there with the Jets. I do think he's built a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it sucks to see Breece Hall go down with an ACL
Yes,
tear.
100%.
But I do think he's building that defense. He's building that run game. I actually think the only thing holding them back is quarterback. It is Zach Wilson. And listen, I'm not trying to be a hater. He's just not that guy. He's not playing that well. I think you saw some flashes last year. I think he's regressed from last year. He makes horrible decisions. He will have that one flashy play a game where like, oh my God, like we'll see Zach Wilson, but then he cannot make the easy throw. He cannot make the 5-yard in route. Like, you have to be able to make those throws to be a quarterback in the NFL. He just hasn't shown to do that. That was what people had a problem with in the draft. It's like, he'll make the crazy throw, but that only happens once a game. You have to be able to make your layups. He just hasn't been able to do that. So obviously I'm taking the Bills. They're just going to destroy. Literally, I have like a little notepad here just to like pick the game, just so I have little points. It just says Bills destroying the Jets. That's all it says. Like, that's all it says. I didn't think I had to go more into it. Like, I know they have Sauce Gardner who's playing really well. DJ Reed has been a really nice pickup for them in free agency, but I just think Stephon Diggs, he's awesome. He's the only Bills player I will say that I like, just because I liked him before Buffalo. So it broke my heart to see him go to Buffalo. Yeah. But he's just fantastic. I think he's one of the most underrated receivers, just because his route running is so good. And I don't know, they're going to kill the Jets. Like, that's just how it's going to go.
The funny thing is, it actually benefits the Dolphins if the Jets beat the Bills, because then when we play them again, if we beat them, say like after that the Jets go on and win the rest of the games, and the Dolphins win the rest of their games, the Dolphins would win the division. Like, it's for us to root for the Jets, but it ain't flipping happening. The Jets are gonna get, and the Jets have a pretty decent defense, but It's not going to happen.
Zach Wilson's not that guy, man.
No, it's not.
Guy.
He's not. It could be like a 27-17 game, and Wilson's going to need to do something, and he's going to throw it to Poyer for an interception or something. Next one, Vikings Commanders. When the season started, and I was previewing the schedule, I didn't know what the Vikings were going to be. I couldn't pinpoint. They could have been either really good like they are, or they could have been really bad. I couldn't pinpoint what they're going to be. At this point right now, 6-1, they're that team that, regardless of the situation, because they almost lost to the Cardinals last week, and they came out and they pulled it off. They almost lost to the Dolphins. We forced them to punt 10 times, the most by any defense this season. So they're surprising me, and I'm going to pick them to win, even if they're in Washington facing Heineke. I think he's still starting. I don't think.
Yeah, Heineke. I like Heineke. I like the effort he brings. He's just not that good.
No.
I just love his effort, his passion. Just not that good of a quarterback. But I'm going to take the Vikings as well. They should beat them relatively easily. I thought the Vikings would be solid, but I did not think they were going to be 6-1, just because their whole team is just solid. They have solid players at every position, but I didn't think they'd be 6-1 or whatever they are right now. So that's definitely not what I thought. That's not what I had going. I thought they'd be maybe 4-3, 5-2, something like that. 5-2 was on the higher end too, but obviously they're playing well right now. Their team is on a roll, and Kirk Cousins, when he's on primetime, is good, and we've all known that. So as long as he gets the ball into the hands of Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, he should be okay. Obviously they have the two backs as well, and Alexander Madison, Dalvin Cook, and Kevin O'Connell has an offense going. They already had the good defense, so it kind of mirrors the Dolphins a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Now that I said that, but honestly, I still think that the Vikings aren't I don't think they're a 6-1 team at the end of the day. I still think they might not succeed that much in the playoffs, but they're a well-built team, a well-constructed team, but we'll see what happens later in the year. But for now, against the Commanders, who did come off a nice win, I still don't think they're going to win this game.
What's your thoughts on the Lions trade in Hawkinson in division to the Vikings?
So random, and it just caught me by surprise. To be honest, I have no thoughts. I have no idea. It just came out after the trade that Irv Smith Jr. went on IR. So it's okay, that makes sense. Okay, he's out for the season, so they need to bring in a tight end. But one, we didn't know that before the trade, so that was weird. And then also, it was just in division.
Yeah, exactly.
I know we just traded Devontae Parker in the division, but to be honest, Devontae Parker has done nothing. It was a very rare trade where it's okay, we know he's not going to do anything. You guys value him super high, so we're going to take the third-round pick, obviously. The fact that we got a third-round pick, by the way,
amazing.
It's ridiculous.
Because he's already hurt. He's hurt already, so.
He's been on a roll this year, Chris Greer. I've been on the Chris Greer is inconsistent. Sometimes I love him, sometimes I hate him. Right now, he's on the upward trajectory with all the trades and moves he's made this year. But yeah, for sure.
That would have been like the Dolphins trading for Judon. There's no which. I feel like if the Dolphins would have done that, I might have done a backflip.
Oh, good. We got Bradley Chubb, baby.
Bradley Chubb, man.
Bradley Chubb, baby. Woo!
Next game. Seattle Seahawks 5-3 heading to Arizona. Arizona's just inconsistent, but Seattle, Geno Smith. What's your thoughts on this game?
I love Geno, man. I love the story, and I do. Obviously, he's playing really efficient football, but I feel like people need to watch him play because he's making some fantastic throws. He's making some.
He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks right now.
But he's making Mahomes level throw. There's some gaps. I'm yo, how are you throwing that? And maybe it's a bad decision, but the way he's doing it and with the receivers that he has, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, he's playing really well, very efficient. I can honestly see them giving him a 3-year contract and rolling with him until they find a quarterback. But man, he's just been a revelation. It's a feel-good story just for a guy in Geno Smith who obviously struggled with the Jets. And I really like their team. I think their rookies are all playing really, really good. Kenneth Walker, Charles Cross, Abe Lucas, Tariq Woolen's been balling out. Even guys like Cody Bryant. There is a guy who they just released who I want the Dolphins to pick up, which in Sidney Jones gets some help in the secondary just because they have all these young guys at corner like Cody Bryant and Tariq Woolen playing good. So swing Sidney Jones over here. He's on waivers. You can pick him up for free. Chris Greer, if you want to make one more move, get some brownie points from us.
Please.
We can do that. But yeah, give me the Seahawks to win this game. And then speaking of spreads, the Cardinals are favored in this game, which I think is kind of surprising. I know they have a high-powered offense now that DeAndre Hopkins is back. But to be honest, the Seahawks have been solid. The rookies are balling on defense. I just feel good about the Seahawks here.
Yeah, I agree 100%, especially with the Sidney Jones situation. The only thing that sucks is our waiver claim is 24th right now because we're doing well. But he's a 1-year contract, and I think it's $3 million for this year. It's nothing. So
it's a rookie deal. Literally, it's
supposedly the Dolphins are interested in him too. So if we pull it off, I think tomorrow is when the waiver claim starts. It's 24 hours after the cut. if we can get Sidney Jones, I'm gonna go kiss Chris Greer right on the mouth. Next game, two teams that are just not the teams they were last year in the LA Rams heading to Tampa Bay to take on
Can I
the
just jump in
Buccaneers.
really quick? I literally have written down two teams with QBs who are uncharacteristically struggling. We literally just said the same thing. Like, literally, I was like, these are two teams that are uncharacteristically doing poorly. Obviously, Matt Stafford's dealing with an injury. Tom Brady's dealing with whatever he's dealing with, the divorce. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, the divorce. But these are two teams that are struggling. This was a game where I really struggled to find out who I want to win. I think if Cooper Kupp plays, and I'm going to guess that he plays, I'll take the Rams, I guess, just because they have Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Other than that, no clue.
I'm 100% with you. Tom Brady needs to retire. Like, he lost his marriage because he decided football was like, there was a documentary where they interviewed Giselle and she was like, my kids are first and foremost, this and that. And then they cut in Tom Brady where he was talking about football's more important. And it's just like, he lost his marriage because he could not play football. Like, the Rams. I'm picking the Rams. I think they're going to, pull it together here. And I don't know what's going on with Tampa Bay. You had Warren Sapp coming after White, the linebacker, saying take the captain patch off him. And Tampa Bay is just burning. It's just going down. That ship is going down, literally. So, yeah, I agree 100% with you. I'm going with the Rams there. And we got the Sunday night game. You look at it. You got the number 2 seed right now taking on the number 3 seed, and the Tennessee Titans, who are the number 2 seed, again, taking on the Chiefs. And this game interests me because the Titans are starting to get back into that role. Henry's starting to get into his thing, but then you have the Chiefs at home who might torch that defense. What's the spread on this one?
The spread for the Chiefs game, I believe the Chiefs are favorited by 12.5.
Oh my God! So if I'm going spread, I might take the Titans. I think it'll be a close game, but straight up, I'm going to take the Chiefs. I think they're just too dynamic right now, and Mahomes and that offense are just on fire.
I agree with you. Give me the Chiefs. I think Henry will play well. Derrick Henry is a fantastic running back, obviously one of the best in the league. He can do anything. I know people get on him for not being able to receive the ball, but it doesn't really matter when you can truck through 3 guys on one play. But they do have Malik Willis playing or Ryan Tannehill, which is 2 struggling quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Malik Willis more because he's young and inexperienced, and Ryan Tannehill because he's Ryan Tannehill. So I do think the Chiefs are going to win. I just think they're at home and they're coming off a bye too. Like, you don't want to go up against a well-rested Chiefs team. No. Like, that's just a recipe for disaster.
It's like the Jets going against a well-rested Bills team. It's bad. But I still might take that spread. That's a pretty good spread.
That was surprising to me. And to be honest, like, even after you said it, I didn't even realize that the Titans were 5-2 and that they were second in the conference.
Yeah, I guess they have some type of tiebreaker against the Chiefs, probably conference record or whatnot. Yeah, they're the number 2 seed. Bills are 1. It's Bills, Titans, Chiefs, then it's Ravens, and then it's Jets, Dolphins, Chargers.
Ugh, I hate hearing the Jets, but that's gonna change after this week. It'll be fine, but
100%. I want. Maybe the Dolphins might be up there in number 2. We'll never know. We'll see how that pans out. Then we got the Monday night game. We have the Ravens heading to, I almost said Los Angeles. I'm losing my mind. To New Orleans to take on the Saints. Saints putting a big whooping on the Raiders, and the Ravens go out and get Roquan Smith. I knew he was going to get traded. The man looked like he wanted to cry when Quinn got traded. I thought the Dolphins might have pulled the trigger. I guess they really like the linebacker core.
Which is surprising because Landon Roberts is not great.
He's a good run stopping linebacker outside of, because he's a thumper. He gets in there, but other than that, he's not good.
I have a line that I say on my channel: if it's a run between the tackles, he will be the best linebacker in the NFL.
Exactly.
But if it's not that exact play, which is a run between the tackles, if it's an outside run or God forbid a pass, then he's going to struggle because he struggles in space. Like, I'm not trying to get at the guy. I think he's great. The leadership, what he brings to the team is great, but I do think we need an upgrade at linebacker. Channing Tindall will hopefully be that next year, but I'll take Bradley Chubb, man. I can't complain. Like, there's no reason to complain that we didn't get Roquan Smith. Adding Jeff Wilson, adding Bradley Chubb. I'm in no position to talk here about Roquan Smith and the Landon Roberts. Landon Roberts, go do your thing, man. We got Bradley Chubb. He'll help you out.
I'm going Ravens in this one, and the interesting thing is They can't afford to keep both Roquan and Lamar Jackson. So one of the two is going to be a free agent next year. One of the two, it's going to be very interesting.
I agree with you. I'm going to take the Ravens. Like, the cap doesn't exist at the same time too, because we're in that same situation. So it's like, I agree with you. I do think one of them will be gone, but it's the NFL. Somehow they'll pull off some Rams thing where they're both back on the team, and then some random guy is gone. And you're like, oh, that saved them $20 million out of nowhere. So I think there's a chance they definitely do that, and I would assume they have a plan to keep them, because there's no way they're planning on letting Lamar walk, because that'd be ludicrous. And then there's no way you pay a second-round pick to let a guy leave. So if any one of them leaves, it's a major failure on the part of the roster construction of that team. But for this game specifically, just adding Roquan Smith, give me the Ravens.
Yeah, 100%. And then the last game we will talk about is the Miami Dolphins heading to Chicago to take on the Bears, who don't have Quinn, who don't have Roquan Smith. They do have a new wide receiver in Claypool, but we already faced him. There was no problem
Clamped
there.
him up.
What's your thoughts here?
I mean,
you're picking the Bears, right?
For sure. No, I'm taking the Dolphins. Tua is cooking. Tua is the franchise quarterback, which, by the way, I'm going to say it on here, big platform. We're investing in Tua now. There's no insurance. There's no, we have pieces to trade for him. We're all in on Tua Tagovailoa, and I love that, just because it was time to go all in on this guy. He's playing great. To be honest, the on the field play has been not an issue this whole year. For me, the only issue is durability. As long as he doesn't miss a game, he's the guy, because he's been balling. If you look at every chart for advanced statistics, it's just him, Mahomes, and Allen in the same quadrant. He's just playing ridiculous football right now, and I know he has the weapons, but guess what? He's doing what he should do against these bad teams. So obviously, I think it's going to be a lot of what we saw against the Bears, but hopefully our defense can step up a little bit more now that we have Bradley Chubb. I'm going to keep saying it, speaking into existence. So that's nice. Tua's cooking. We got the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. And I don't see anyone. I know they have Jalen Johnson, who's cool. He's really good, a good young corner, but there's no way he's hanging with Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. So we just added Bradley Chubb. We just added Jeff Wilson, which will give our run game a nice little pop, because he knows the scheme from his days in San Francisco with Mike McDaniel. He can catch the ball. And, yeah, man, I'm taking the Dolphins. And the spread could be minus, 15. I'm taking the Dolphins.
100%.
Because I'm just confident. Now, will we win by 15? I don't know, because
it's the Dolphins.
I thought we were going to win by 11 against the Lions. But, yeah, give me the Dolphins, man. You'll never see me pick against the Dolphins, I don't think.
It's my dad. My dad does the same thing. They every week he's picking the Dolphins. I'm picking the Dolphins.
The only game I might pick against the Dolphins is, I feel like it's a scheduled loss. It's 3 road games and then the Bills. Yeah. So I feel like that's just a recipe for disaster. But other than that, I feel like you won't ever see me pick against the Dolphins, just because we were talking about this before the show. It feels different. We're not trying to get too ahead of ourselves, but it feels different.
That stretch is going to be hard. We're going to stay on the West Coast, which kind of helps with that 49ers Chargers game. But like you said, then you come home, but then you got to go to Buffalo in December. That's going to be hard, like you said. So that might be the one game where we're like, but then if we could sweep the flipping Bills, we got to stop getting ahead of ourselves. Oh my God.
Let's focus on the Bears. Let's beat the Bears.
Jay, thank you so much for stopping by, bud. If you guys haven't, go check him out. Go follow him on Twitter. Go follow his YouTube channel. Also, he's over with Nikki Smokes and Bobby. Go check him out. Fantastic stuff. Dude, this is going to be the last time I have you on, Jay. Thank you so much for stopping by.
No, I appreciate you so much. It's been an honor. Seriously, love it. Shout out to all the fans watching. Great to see you guys. I interact with them. They're always in my chat saying, oh, do something with Dougley. So it was nice to get on with them. And again, it's an honor, man, obviously.
I will talk to you soon, man.
Appreciate it.